All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump into our housing market update for this
Rachel's
week.
got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the Hardin County housing market update? Hey!
Listen, I want that to play before I walk into every room. Okay. Like,
You
if I
need
go
you
to
need
a,
to get that you need to get that jingle and like any of your reels and stuff that you do. It needs to be the intro to your reel.
that would be so much fun. I like,
Yes.
I'll go to a listing appointment and like toss the speaker into the room before I walk in. So it plays. Well, and I apologize if I seem just a little bit distracted. The housing market is busy. So we've received several offers just today, and I've got showing requests on multiple homes, and I've got multiple homes coming to the market. So it's all fantastic. I love the spring rush, but we are definitely knee deep in it. So I want to bring you some numbers that kind of help speak to what's happening in the market. So obviously, I'm Rachel Brantingham. I am here with your weekly housing market update. And my numbers that I bring to you all come from the Heart of Kentucky MLS, and they're all for the Hardin County area. So if you're looking outside of Hardin County, obviously I can pull these specifically for your area. I've been doing a lot of work over in Meade County the last couple weeks, and we've got a bunch of new incredible listings over there. So we can support with that data. What I bring to the Hardin Local podcast is specific to the Hardin County market. So, a quick snapshot. Over the last week, we had 35 new homes come on the market. We saw 25 homes go under contract and 17 families moved in. So, pretty fun there. 25 homes going under contract in a matter of 7 days. It's big numbers, guys. So a little bit about that. In the last 30 days, days on market. So we've been tracking days on market. And I don't know if y'all remember, we were at 96. We dropped to 95. We were slowly, but we've been holding at 93 days on market. And what days on market does is basically it's the date, it's the average amount of days a house goes on the market to when it actually closes. And so we measure that to see how fast things are moving once they come on. So I'm so excited. We've been holding at 93 for the past couple of weeks, and I hadn't seen a day. We are down to 91 days on market this week. So what that actually is telling me is, though it's a slight improvement, it's not much. It just speaks towards that movement that we're seeing as we head into the spring season. I've had so many calls lately of people who are like, okay, we made it through the winter. We are sick of being in our home. We're ready to move. We've outgrown the space. We need to downsize. I mean, the reasons are numerous, right? But we're starting to see that spring market coming and the activity moving a bit faster. From an inventory standpoint, we currently have 361 active homes on the market. 79 homes have sold in the last 30 days. So I don't know if y'all remember last week we were at 4.8 months of inventory. We have dropped to 4.6 months of inventory. So what those numbers are telling me is we are trending back towards a seller's market. And here's something to keep in mind, guys. Right now, we're seeing a lot of price reduction. So the homes that have sat over the winter, they have dropped in price to a point where they're crazy good deals. And as we start to see these months of inventory shift closer to the seller's market, you're going to see those prices going up. You're going to see new homes coming onto the market at a much higher dollar per square foot. You're going to see some of those deals disappearing quickly. And so if you're looking to purchase, I would highly encourage you to kind of consider what it would look like to do so now while the prices are dropping and the inventory is still there. Otherwise, as we head into spring, you're probably going to see higher price points and not as much inventory for you to look at. And also what typically comes with that is there's not as much negotiating room. Right now, we're seeing our buyers get closing costs covered. We're seeing repairs being made. We're seeing things like rent. If they need an early release from a rental unit, we're getting that covered by the seller as part of the transaction. So there's just a lot of things that we can work into the deal for our buyers that as this market picks up and gets busier, you're not going to see so much of that. So I want to talk a bit about pricing trends. The average list price over the last 30 days was $349,873. Something about that number, that is the average median home price in Hardin County. So we're right at 350,000. And it was interesting. I was doing a training and they were talking about some of the larger small cities locally around us, Owensboro, Campbellsville, Bowling Green. we're a good like $80,000 over what the median home price is in this area. So I think that speaks to the strength of our local economy, and we're continuing to see those prices increase. There is a pretty big differentiation between what the average sold price is. So we're selling right at that we're listing right at that 350 number. We're selling right at 285. So keep in mind that dials back to buyers, you haven't lost the power yet. So if there's terms that you want, if you want a cheaper sale price, now is a really great moment to take advantage of the market conditions. We are still seeing a fair amount of price adjustments, as I've mentioned, but sellers are putting a lot more thought and strategy into their initial list price. We've got a bunch of listings, 20 some listings coming to the market over the next couple weeks. And as I've sat with those sellers, it hasn't been such an easy decision. I think previously they were quicker to put a price point on things. Now they want to really research the data. They really want to make sure. My recommendation to sellers is to find the ceiling of what your home's value is and list between 3 and 5% underneath the top dollar. What that does is it places you in a more competitive range when you're looking at the amount of inventory that is available on the market. And so it's putting you in a different category, and it's making your home stand out on the price point. Of course, condition and all of those things are very, very important as well. Rates did see a bit of an increase. So they had dropped, the conventional rates had dropped into the fives. Of course, with some of the things going on in the world right now, those rates actually went back up into the low sixes. So conventionals in the low sixes, if you're FHA, VA, USDA, those are still sitting in the high fives. Of course, that is all based on your credit. If you need an awesome lender to talk you through what your credit score would look like, feel free to reach out to me. Shout out to Grafton Sizemore with Motto Mortgage, who just does a fantastic job. Let's see here. Anything else I want to kind of talk to you guys about? Obviously, like I mentioned before, as we head into spring, you're going to start to see things move quickly and those price points increase. So if you're looking to purchase, make sure you get with my team. Obviously, real estate is hyper local. This is the whole Hardin County market. So if you want specifics around what your property is worth, how much equity you have in yours, or if you're a buyer who's considering purchasing and you want to know whether it's a great time, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to support you guys. So there you go, guys. Hardin County housing market update.
Got the numbers, who's buying, who's selling, what's hot on the block. Hardin County housing market update.
I love it, Phil. I'm so in love with these.